What's going on, man? Welcome back to another video. Before we do us anything else, all praise to the Most High. Today we have the symbols of every Ruthless gang in 15 minutes. I don't think this is every one, but I get what y'all trying to say. Let's get right into it.
The Yakuza don't use tattoos simply to decorate their skin. They employ them as a secret language. Each dragon, koi fish, or hand-tattooed Oni mask tells a profound story of loyalty, power, or punishment. But there's something very few people know. The story of loyalty, power, or punishment. But there's something very few people know. These tattoos, which can take years to complete, were not always a source of great pride. Imagine feudal Japan, an era of samurai, powerful feudal lords, and merchants who operated on the very fringes of the law. In this world, tattoos were not considered art. They were marks of infamy used to brand criminals and outlaws, but the Yakuza claimed them as their own, transforming them into symbols of pride. They created a secret language where designs like dragons, koi fish, or Oni masks symbolized hierarchy, loyalty, and criminal deeds, a code only they could understand. However, there's an ironic twist. In modern Japan, many Yakuza avoid visible tattoos. The reason is hot springs, gyms, and even pools ban them. What was once a mark of honor is now a burden. But this is not the most disturbing thing. Behind every tattoo, there's a ritual called
Who the hell is narrating this? Is this AI? Because if it's not, you could go heads over Optimus Prime and Morgan Freeman. I'm very interested. And I'm gonna watch more.
Bitsume, where a member must part with the tip of their left pinky finger as an apology for a serious offense.
Shit.
The finger is then given to the boss as a symbol of responsibility.
Shit.
And that the punishment does not end there. However, gangs like MS-13 demand even more ruthless blood rituals from their members.
Is this?
Born in the 80s to Salvadoran immigrants fleeing a civil war, what began as a community defense group transformed into a global criminal machine. Its name is a true enigma. Mara means gang, but Salvatrucha isn't just Salvadoran. It's a hybrid of street cunning and the Marabunta. These are Salvadoran ants that lay waste to entire villages, a coincidence that became a prophecy. Today, although almost extinct in El Salvador, the Mara Salvatrucha expands like a plague, allied with Mexican cartels and marking territories with spiderweb or devil horn graffiti. But there's a detail here that few grasp. The number 13 in his name is not a random choice. It represents the letter M, the 13th letter of the alphabet, a clear nod to his pact with the Mexican mafia. An agreement sealed with blood in the 90s that gave them access to weapons, drugs, and an endless list of enemies, like the 18th Street Gang or the Bloods. Their symbols were as bold as they were lethal. MS tattoos on the face, a 13 on the neck, or hand signs mimicking letters. But in 2010, something changed. The intense media scrutiny compelled them to conceal their distinctive markings beneath long sleeves or heavy makeup. The irony of this situation is quite stark. What was once a powerful symbol of their authority has now become a significant liability. But the true unwritten code of honor for MS-13 isn't found in their tattoos. It lies within the brutal rituals that would make even the most hardened individual tremble. Picture this scenario. You're a brand new recruit. You're brutally beaten for 13 exact seconds, and then they force you to commit a crime so utterly grotesque that it's all captured on video. If the police ever catch you, that very recording becomes your conviction and the absolute guarantee that you will never rat anyone out. But here's an even darker detail. To abandon the gang is not an option. It is a death sentence signed with your very own blood. And this is not merely a metaphor. In 2019, a defector was discovered with a message tattooed on his lifeless body. Betrayal is always paid with interest. Graffiti with spiderwebs, they are not art either. They are a silent, unspoken warning. Here they are the ones who set the rules, and the price for breaking them is not measured in mere money. It is measured in human lives. In the prisons of the former Soviet Union, the Russian mafia doesn't use tattoos as mere decoration. For them, their very skin transforms into a deeply coded criminal record. Each symbol is a specific code that only the initiated truly understand. But here's something that very few people actually know. These designs were born in the gulags, the Soviet labor camps, where prisoners tattooed themselves with bone needles and ink made from burnt tires.
Oh, so that's what they be meaning when they say, I'm finna send you to the gulag. I'm finna send that boy to the gulag.
The reason? to show that pain would not break them. A thief in the law with stars on his knees kneels before no one, not even a bullet. Church domes tattooed across their chests are not religious art. Each one of them signifies a year spent in prison, a sentence fully served. And that cat holding a hat in its hand is not some character from a fairy tale. It's the distinctive mark of a professional thief who has emptied banks in Moscow or successfully defrauded powerful oligarchs. But the true power, you see, lies in those invisible details. In 2015, a high-ranking Bratva boss was apprehended in Madrid. His skin served as a detailed criminal resume. A spider tattooed on his elbow, a text declaring, "I'm addicted to risk," a dagger piercing through a rose, and the chilling phrase, "I killed for love or for money." It took the police several months to uncover that these very symbols linked him to 12 unsolved murders. In 2018, a defector was found in Siberia with a clock face, devoid of hands, tattooed on his neck. The message was clear. Your time has run out, and not even death can save you. While the MS-13 gang marks its territories with distinctive spiderweb graffiti, the Bratva inscribes its rules directly onto their skin. Yet both organizations share one fundamental, unbreakable law. Loyalty above all else is simply not negotiable. Hell's Angels aren't just a motorcycle club. They're a brotherhood that transformed a winged skull logo into a global symbol of power. Founded in 1948 in California, this gang
I'm gonna put it to you like this. I seen a video. As a matter of fact, I seen a video where a motorcycle, just a random dude on a motorcycle was just having a good time on his bike. And there was a dude that claimed he was a Hell's Angel or something like that. He rolled past him. This dude got to a stoplight. The Hell's Angels dude got to the stoplight beside him talking about something. Hey, you don't pass a Hell's Angel until we give you permission or something like that. First of all, I bought this bike. Who the hell are you? You ain't even the police. He's not about to listen to you on the road that you ain't even pay for just because of what you claim. I tell you what, I ain't no biker or nothing like that, but I got a car. I'm gonna pass you, goof ass. Remember, you on a bike, I'm in a car. I'll run you smooth over slide. I ain't gonna hold you.
started as a group of war veterans who were looking for adrenaline on the open roads.
But
they soon discovered that the real business was actually operating in the shadows. Your winged skull patch is not decoration, it is a blood contract. If you wear it on your back, you have sworn loyalty unto death, and that's not a metaphor. In 2002, a member in Canada was killed for trying to remove it. But here's a detail that few people know. The colors of the patch matter more than the design. The red and white mean that you have killed for the gang. The black and silver mean that you are a loyal soldier. Their Nazi tattoos, or Thor's hammers, are not just provocation. They are codes. A swastika on the neck can signal an arms dealer, while an 81 on the knuckles, H and A in the alphabet, acts as their hidden signature, an internal code that only other members can recognize. And if you see someone with a filthy few patch, beware, that man has committed homicide for the Brotherhood. But the true power lies in what is not seen. In 2019, German police discovered they were using fake motorcycle club patches to transport methamphetamine. And in Australia, they infiltrated legal biker clubs to recruit members while their symbols hung on walls like trophies. The Mexican Mafia, also known as La M.A., was established in 1957, originating deep within the confines of a California state prison, where 13 Hispanic men swore an oath to protect their own people from other rival gangs. But what began as a simple pact for survival soon evolved into a monstrous force of 50,000 soldiers, which now exerts control over everything from prisons to the streets, forming alliances with notorious groups like Mess 13 or Gang 18. Their most feared symbol is the Black Hand, a sinister nod to the Italian Mafia, but it comes with an added warning. If you see it in graffiti, that territory is already claimed, and the price for invading it is death. They, the eagle and serpent from the Mexican coat of arms crossed with daggers, are not a patriotic tribute. They are a declaration that here, even history is written with knives. But the most intriguing code is found in the number 13, which represents the letter M, the 13th letter of the alphabet. They use it for hidden tattoos, concealed beneath their shirts, and 2 lines and 3 dots, a code that only their members recognize. And here's a detail that very few people are aware of. Their tattoos are not merely letters or numbers, as one might expect. Many of them bear Aztec shields, hummingbirds, or butterflies, powerful symbols they appropriated from pre-Hispanic culture to represent their resistance and freedom. A hummingbird on the shoulder could mean that man escaped the police or has orders to fly under the radar. The blue he wears is no coincidence. In the 70s, they adopted it to deceive guards who associated red with violence. Today, words like Southerner or South are passcodes that determine who's an ally and who's on their blacklist. Their rivals, from the Hells Angels to the Zetas, know that confronting them is playing with fire. They control drug and arms trafficking from prisons, and no one stops them. The Triads. In the 18th century, within the dark, winding alleys of Imperial China, the Triads were not merely criminal mafias, they were clandestine societies, actively conspiring to overthrow entire dynasties. Their members, often disguised as humble merchants or devout monks, swore solemn loyalty in hidden temples where they meticulously planned revolts against a deeply oppressive system. But then, in the early 1900s, something fundamentally changed. They stopped fighting against emperors to infiltrate governments. They assassinated politicians at the Kuomintang's behest, trafficked opium with the complicit gaze of authorities, and even allied with the Chinese Communist Party when it suited their interests. Today, they are a global empire, but their true power isn't in weapons. It lies in symbols that blend mysticism and terror. Their sacred triangle is not simply geometry. It represents the heavens, the earth, and humankind, a trinity they use to justify their crimes as if they were acts of universal equilibrium. The numbers 489, 426, and 25 are not random figures. They are keys to a hierarchy. 489 is a supreme leader, 426, an executioner, and 25, a spy who could be sitting right next to you on the subway. And if you see a dragon tattooed over his heart, you're facing a man who has climbed the ranks by killing. If the dragon carries a dagger, he has left a trail of corpses. Their rituals are living nightmares. In secret ceremonies, they mix animal blood with wine and swear loyalty under the gaze of General Guan Yu, a god of...
I can't be in some of these. But I'm telling you, I don't listen. I have a very bad problem with authority. I don't like being told what to do. I don't like when people think they got control over me. I can't sit here and say what I got or what I would do because I'm actively doing some of that stuff right now. But just know, if you got control over me, or you think you got control over me, or you tell me what to do, I'm plotting on your ass. It is what it is. It is what it is. I can't go into detail because, like I said, I'm actively plotting on some people right now because you think, I'm plotting on your ass. Who? I don't give a damn. You a Donald Trump. If I don't want to do it, get what ain't going to get done. Ha! What's wrong with you?
Breaking an oath is not forgiven. The punishment for this is 1,000 cuts, a slow death that could last for hours. But here, there's a twist that completely defies logic. When Hong Kong police cracked their codes in the 90s, the Triads changed their tactics. They used symbols like a smiling devil or a dragon in encrypted messages to plan assassinations or traffic drugs. Today, they control the opium trade in the Golden Triangle and launder dirty money in London, all using a language that even the best analysts can't decipher in time. The Crips, another alliance of African-American gangs, originated in Los Angeles in 1969. Founded by Raymond Washington and Stanley Williams, it is considered one of the largest and most violent gangs in the United States, with a historic rivalry against the Bloods. The members of the Crips are widely recognized for their use of the color blue, a tradition that began in 1973 to honor their founding member, Curtis Morrow, whose blue bandana became his symbol after his death. Their emblems include the six-pointed star, a powerful symbol of loyalty and wisdom, and the letter C, which is often seen in their graffiti and hand signs. Additionally, they avoid writing Crip Killer, instead replacing it with the letters double C in their graffiti. The Bloods, a predominantly African-American street gang, first emerged in Los Angeles during the 1970s as a direct response to the growing dominance of the Crips. Their historical roots can be traced back to the Piru Street Boys, who subsequently united with other gangs that had been victimized by the Crips in order to form a powerful and unified front. Although they began as a decentralized network, the Bloods rapidly expanded all across the United States, gaining a reputation for extreme violence. Their symbols are truly impossible to ignore. The color red represents blood and loyalty, while 5 pointed stars and crowns are marks of status and power. On the East Coast, some members bear a dog paw mark, symbolized by 3 burns on the shoulder as a symbol of loyalty. Their graffiti is a clear declaration of war. Crossing out the names of Crips or turning them upside down is a direct form of mockery and defiance. The Bloods are widely known for being drug traffickers and ruthless murderers, and wearing blue clothing or making gestures associated with the Crips within their territory can easily become a death sentence. The Latin Kings are one of the largest Hispanic and Latino gangs in the world, founded by Puerto Rican communities in Chicago in 1954. Their goal was to unite Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, and other Latinos against oppression from groups like the Aryan Brotherhood or the Black Gangster Disciples. Internationally active, they operate both on the streets and within prisons, standing out due to their hierarchical structure and superior organization compared to gangs like the Bloods and Crips. Their crimes include drug trafficking, homicides, and extensive money laundering. The defining colors of the Latin Kings are black and gold. Black represents darkness, and gold symbolizes the ascent from that darkness to uplift their people. Its central symbol is a 3 or 5 pointed crown representing love, respect, sacrifice, honor, and obedience. Members usually get it tattooed along with abbreviations of their names. Lions are also a very common sight in their tattoos and graffiti, serving as a powerful symbol of both strength and courage, while the distinctive phrase, King Master Lion, perfectly encapsulates leadership and power. Additionally, they use Inca-inspired art or ethnic styles to demonstrate their affiliation. The Latin Kings greet each other by touching points on their hands and bringing them to their hearts while saying amor, a gesture that also appears in their graffiti. They perceive themselves as a chosen generation, and their initiation is often likened to a baptism. Their gatherings frequently occur in cemeteries, and they always commence with a prayer. Among their most prominent rivals are groups such as the Hoovers, the Folks, and the Crips. The notorious Barrio 18 gang transformed a simple number into a terrifying legend. It originated on the streets of Los Angeles, and what once began as an alliance of marginalized immigrants, today it is an army of between 30,000 and 50,000 members, which controls drug trafficking routes extending from California all the way to El Salvador. It is considered one of the largest gangs in Los Angeles, and is closely allied with the Mexican Mafia, even though it operates throughout the entire continent. In El Salvador, however, their power has been weakened because the Bukele government is pursuing them with brutal policies. But their symbol, the number 18, remains an enigma. It appears in graffiti as a subtle nod to their past, or even as 99, an inverted code that only its members truly understand. What's the logic? If you turn the number 99 upside down, it reads 66, and in the alphabet, the 6th letter is F, which is their code for force. Their most well-known rivals are the Mara Salvatrucha, with whom they are engaged in a bloody war for control of territories and drug trafficking routes. They recognize each other amidst the shadows, using specific hand signals that form an E or the number 18. These gestures initially appear to be a casual greeting, until a weapon suddenly emerges. Their alliance with the Mexican Mafia grants them access to weapons and illicit drugs, but their true message, their real language, is displayed on the walls.
That be the craziest part, because the smallest ones be the most dangerous ones. 30 to 50,000 members, that's probably the most dangerous one on the list. Crazy.
Graffiti showing the number 18 crossed out, or crowns drawn all around. These are clear signals that this particular neighborhood is already claimed. And right here, we find a truly macabre twist. In 2021, the DEA uncovered that reggaeton songs, with their lyrics subtly modified, were being used to order assassinations. For instance, 18 gunshots in a song could signify the elimination of a traitor. However, these symbols, which once conveyed status and defiance, are no longer proudly displayed by anyone in their country of origin. Nayib Bukele and his government have ended both Barrio 18 and Mara Salvatrucha, locking them up for life in the most impenetrable maximum security prison in the Americas. Don't forget to support this content by subscribing and watching this other very interesting video you'll love.
Man, I'm gonna go ahead and say right now, bro, I don't care what you is. Don't get no tattoo for that. If I can influence anybody to do anything, don't get no tattoo for no gang. Don't get no tattoo for nobody but yourself, bro. Cause you see how all these tattoos, they got them to show whatever, and then they all end up wanting to hide them or being, what's the word? Like, they just don't want them to be, you can't even wear them on the outside. Like, they end up being used against you. It ties something. Some man tattoos, cryptic tattoos, not direct. Some guy cryptic tattoos tied him to 12 assassinations. It ain't worth it, bro. Y'all, people be thinking in the moment, thinking stuff like that cool, but it's gonna catch up to you. Watch every single time. That's why all my tattoos. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one, bro. I'm gonna stop being a hypocrite. Anyway, y'all eat fruit. Y'all stay out the streets, stay out the gangs. As Joe Baker say, even though his punk ass don't respond to me in a DM. If you're not affiliated, I advise you to never become affiliated. Eat fruit, get you some money, and go get some hoes or something. Why everybody want to get in gangs and be violent? And come on, bro. Catch y'all in the next one.